English briefing. First of all, thank you very much for participating in Galatzó Trail 2023. We hope that the event meets your expectations and hopefully you live in Calvia, your best racing experience. I introduce myself, I am a virtual assistant of artificial intelligence. The organization has decided to have me in order to get a clean briefing in different languages and that highlights the most important aspects of the race. Now, I hope you can pay attention to this briefing, it is of vital importance for the event. Schedules. Galatzó Legend. Departure, 8:30 a.m. on the morning of Sunday, March 12th. Place of start and finish, Plaza de Savinha in Es Capdella. The closing of the race will be at 6 p.m. at the finish line. Schedules. Galatzó Half. Departure, 10 a.m. on Sunday, March 12th. Place of departure and arrival, Plaza de Savinha de Es Capdella. Mandatory equipment. The materials that you must take at race, regardless of the distance you do, are the following. Mobile phone, glass or bottle, thermal blanket, always visible race bib number with the chip. In case of bad weather, you must add the following items as mandatory equipment. Cap or buff, 10,000 mm breathable raincoat. You can check the GalatzóTrail.com website to know more about other recommended materials for the race. Telephone and emergencies. Remember to bring your mobile phone on and with the battery charged. You must save our emergency telephone number in your diary, prefix +34, number 683,404,377. If you call us and do not get an answer, try WhatsApp. You must also have the MY112 application downloaded on your mobile to report in case of no emergency response on the mobile. Abandonment. In case you want to abandon the race, before doing so, you must notify the organization. You can tell the race judges, volunteers, staff at the aid stations, or health personnel. If you do not notify us, we will put the emergency services to work on your search. Areas with expected abandonment: Boal de Cis Cerveras, kilometer 18.1 Legend, kilometer 14 half, Pá de na Sabatera, kilometer 22 Legend, Ca Alamo and Beal, kilometer 33.5 Legend. Respect the environment. The race takes place almost entirely in a natural environment of great scenic interest, with special protection areas such as the Galatzó, Sesclop LIC, and the Puig de Baz LIC, which are part of the Natura 2000 network. We ask you to respect the environment at all times and to the maximum, that you take into account the Decalogue of Good Practices of the Balearic Mountain Federation, which you can find in the racebook, and that your visit to Galatzó does not generate a great impact. Galatzó Legend. In this section of the briefing we deal with the specific aspects that people who participate in this distance must take into account. Double-way sections in Galatzó Legend. At kilometer 12.5 of Galatzó Legend there is a section of about 600 meters that runs along a narrow two-way road. Remember that you should always drive on the left. Neutralized section in Galatzó Legend. At kilometer 22.8, we find a 700-meter uphill and downhill section that serves to crown the top of Galatzó. Running is not allowed in this section, it is a neutralized section. Failure to comply with this rule is grounds for disqualification from the race. Cut-off times. The maximum time to complete Galatzó Legend is 9.5 hours. Participants are required to enter within the following partial times that are established along the route. There will be 2 cutoff points established for the legend distance, no eliminatory penalties. One is point 12:45 p.m. in the Pá de na Sabatera, before beginning the ascent to the top of Galatzó, kilometer 22.4. Participants who arrive after 12:45 p.m. will not be able to start the ascent to the top of Galatzó. They will be able to continue the route towards the Col de Sa Melita Rasa. The penalty for not exceeding this cutoff time will be 1 hour to be added to the final time of the race. 2nd point, GR221 with SES planes. Participants who arrive after 3:30 p.m. at this point will not be able to start the route between Ca Alamo and Beal, Galatzó, Sa Font Nova and return to the GR221 junction with SES planes, passing directly in the direction of Es Capdella. The penalty for not exceeding this cutoff time will be 2 hours to be added to the final time of the race. People who have not passed any of these partial cutoff points may not be classified ahead of those who have completed the entire route, so in the event that their final time adding the penalty is less than that of the last participating person who has completed the circuit, 1 minute will be added to the time of that last classified person. People who have not passed any of these cutoff points will be considered finishers of the distance they have actually completed. The closing of the Galatzó Legend race is established at 6 p.m. People who do not reach the finish line before that time will be disqualified. Galatzó Legend aid stations. You can find water, cola, isotonic, bananas, oranges, almonds, peanuts, hazelnuts, dates, dried apricots, pieces of energy bar, chocolate and jelly beans. In those areas you will also find waste collection places. The Galatzó Legend aid stations are as follows: aid stations 1 and 3, Poda Ses Sinis, kilometers 10 and 30. Aid station 2, Bol de Ses Cerveras, kilometer 18.2. Aid stations 4 and 5, Ca Alamo and Beal, kilometers 33.5 and 39.5. Aid station 6 at the finish line. The signage for Galatzó Legend will consist of red and white delimiting tape, sticks in mountain areas and green arrows at important turns. Galatzó half. In this section of the briefing we deal with the specific aspects that people who participate in this distance must take into account. Sections of special attention in Galatzó half. At kilometer 8.3 of Galatzó half we will find a 600-meter stretch of narrow two-way path. Remember that you must always go to your left. Galatzó half aid stations. You can find water, cola, isotonic, bananas, oranges, almonds, peanuts, hazelnuts, dates, dried apricots, pieces of energy bar, chocolate and jelly beans. In those areas you will also find waste collection places. The Galatzó half aid stations points are as follows: aid stations 1 and 3, Poda Ses Sinis, kilometers 6 and 18. Aid station 2, Bol Ses Cerveras, kilometer 14. Aid station 4 at the finish line. The signage for Galatzó half will consist of red and white delimiting tape, sticks in mountain areas and orange arrows at important turns. Sanitary services in the race. We will have different assistance and health teams on the route and in the start and finish areas. The company that will coordinate the health services is Falck. We will also have the assistance of civil protection. Here we show you the location of the different assistance services. Start and finish line zone. Medical attention point and coordination center. Civil protection point, at kilometers 7.5, 10, 30 and 32.5. One fast intervention vehicle in Coma den Vidal, kilometer 17.6. 2 ambulances in the Bol de Ses Cerveras, kilometer 17.6. An assistance vehicle for minor evacuees at Font de Espi, kilometer 21. An ambulance at Ca Alamo in Beal, kilometers 33.5 and 39.5. 5 assistance technicians on the route, they will always be in the race queue. Weather forecast. Cloudy and clear intervals are expected in the area of the race. The temperature will be between 14 and 17 degrees Celsius, a low-intensity south wind, approximately 21 kilometers per hour. Important, due to the rainfall and moments of extreme cold suffered last week, it is possible that you will find some obstacles on the route that it has not been possible to remove. However, there will always be a step enabled for athletes. Services. We want you to have at your disposal everything you need to enjoy the race. Refreshments. Transfers from Pegara and Calvia. Changing room and shower service at the Palau de Sports de Calvia. Volunteers for care and follow-up. Global coverage health services. Cloakroom service. Recovery service and physiotherapists. Aid station at the finish line, etc. You can check all the race services on the web, galatzotrail.com. Your smile in Meta is worth €2. We want Galatzó Trail to help groups with special needs, and therefore, we will donate part of the race proceeds to NGOs or entities that work for the development of the community. To do so, we need you. We will donate €2 for each person who enters Meta smiling. So now you know, you have a compelling reason to enter the finish line with your best face. Enter laughing and help us help. The celebration of Galatzó Trail is very important for the municipality of Calvia. It serves to position the area as an ideal place to train and compete at any time of the year, and generates a significant economic impact. In addition, Galatzó Trail must contribute to community development, so the organization works to meet the sustainable development goals in the event, incorporating a set of actions aimed at protecting the environment, favoring groups with needs, betting on products and fabric local business, promote sustainable mobility, use biodegradable products, reduce the use of plastic and paper at the event, etc. On the GalatzóTrail.com website you can find a summary with the main SDG development actions that we carried out in 2023. This race is organized by Fundación Calvia 2004 and the Calvia Town Hall. It has the support of the Tourism Strategy Agency of the Balearic Islands and the arbitration of the Balearic Mountaineering and Climbing Federation. In addition to these entities, sports clubs, associations, companies, and above all a great volunteer team, make the event possible. We hope you enjoy Galatzó Trail 2023 and remember, smile when you cross the finish.